What's up, everybody? It's Brian with HappyThumbsGaming, and we are back with that next location for you in LEGO Ninjago Movie, which happens to be Location 6, the Lost City of Generals Free Play and Free Roam. That's right, we're going to get all of the collectibles in this area, including the ones that were found in story, but we're going to get them all in our Free Play / Free Roam series. Now, you can check it out. We're in Ninjago Island here. We're getting ready to zoom in on the Lost City of Generals, which happens to be the 6th location. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Warner Bros. For hooking us up with this amazing copy of this game. We've had a ton of fun with it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it as well. And that being said, let's go ahead and kick things off. We got that 1 gold brick for completing the story, but all the rest remains to be collected. So as soon as we spawn here, we're going to go ahead and hop over to the first tornado build, which gets us our first gold brick as well. This is going to cost us 150,000 studs, and I do recommend, if you're a little short on the studdage, that you go and replay the bonus level a couple of times. And if you're wondering where the bonus level is, that probably means you have not completed the story yet, and we highly recommend that you've completed all of the story levels as well as completed all of the dojos scattered throughout Ninjago Island, as they will give you the needed characters and abilities to complete all of our collectible free roam stuff. So alright, we got that first gold brick for completing that tornado build. Next up, right behind us, is going to be a gold chest. This one we're going to melt down with Kai's fire tornado and then actually whip it together real quick into, what's this? Some sort of a catapult / cannon, and Cole's going to make it rain something. And look at that, it actually spits out our first ancient scroll. I guess it's the only ancient scroll of the area, but it's the first red brick of the day. Woohoo! This is actually the Master of the Forbidden Dance, which is kind of like a disco party. That's right, we're going to get our jungle boogie on here in a second by hopping on the old disco pad. I thought it was pretty funny that they gave us the dance red brick right next to a dance. And you know, hey, we got to take advantage of this. Jungle boogie, diddle, diddle. Or for you new up-and-comers, that's right, dance all night. All right, enough of that. We'll go ahead and turn that bad boy off, as we don't need that glimmering disco ball shining from the top the entire time. But we will go ahead and make our way off the left side of the, I guess we're on a giant tower is what it is. It's the giant general tower, and we're actually going to drop down not 1 but 2 levels. In fact, it might be more than that technically, but we drop down off 2 ledges. And check it out, we've got this lava flowing that we got to watch out for, but right beyond that there's actually a ladder. If you have not knocked it down already, give it a little smackaroo and drop down, and guess what? We have to actually go 2 levels down here as well. We're going to find a Garmadon rock. This is something we don't see a whole lot of, but every once in a while they toss one of these guys in. Go ahead and switch to Lord Garmadon and walk up close to it and press the icon indicated to go ahead and give it the old booyaka show and collect that gold brick. Next up, we're actually going to climb back up that same ladder we just knocked down. And guess what? We're going to drop down on the other side of this crazy, I guess it's like some sort of a bridge right there. We used a crane to go ahead and complete that bridge. And I tried to be all sneaky here. I wanted to switch characters to get away from Garmadon, because for whatever reason, he seems slow and clunky to me. So I switched to Kai, but Kai was already selected across the map there. So I hate it how it does that. You know, anyhow, it's a little bit of a user error, I would go ahead and say. But anyhow, we got a silver chest down here, which is in need of some explosions, and we got some pirates that got that action for us. We just need to make sure we've completed that dojo in order to get these characters, yo. And look at that, speaking of characters, we're gonna actually get ourselves our first character token of the era, y'all, which happens to be Tox. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Is it Tox or Tooks? I'm not sure. It's got that kind of the accent over the O, which generally changes it into a different pronunciation, and I couldn't tell you what that is. But guess what? It's time to actually place our feet on the ground. We're going to play a little game of football, a little soccer. In fact, we're going to score ourselves a goal. Well, not quite. I actually got bad aim, and for whatever reason, I take out my frustration on Kai here, which really, I was just trying to smack that soccer ball, because I remember in LEGO Jurassic World, you could actually play a little soccer with the dinosaurs, and I thought maybe we'd be able to do that here too, but no such luck. At least I failed miserably trying, and I didn't want to waste any more time looking like a fool, so I went ahead and made my way out of there, crossed over the lava pit, and guess what? There is a mill over here spinning around. It's kind of a windmill, if you will. And check it out. I am like, what do I do with this? I had a feeling this was a J shock panel, but I wasn't 100%, and so I'm like changing to other characters, like walking up to it, like, why won't it show me what character or ability I need? It normally will tell you that you need a certain ability. It's not showing me, so I don't know if that's just part of the fun, or if the game glitched out, or what. But speaking of glitching out, we're going to finally switch to Jay and use his Shock Blast to go ahead and spin that windmill around rapidly. And look at that, it pukes out the gold brick. We'll go ahead and collect that bad boy, because we love us some gold. And guess what? Right behind that windmill is a little chicken coop area. We're going to go ahead and take down 3 of the hen houses. And inside that third one, once we knock it all down, it actually gives us a gold brick. So moving right along, we're already to gold brick number 4. And this one, we're actually going to go right by that wall run there. And over in the corner, you're going to see this rope. It's kind of hard to see based on the color it is, or maybe based on the angle you're looking. But we'll go ahead and double jump up to it and climb to the very top, which actually gives us access to a new pad. Or I guess it's just kind of a little shelf. We'll do a little tight pants tight walking to get across here. That's right. Shout out to Tight Pants Joey. What's up, buddy? We actually have 2 ropes that we need to balance ever so carefully on to get out onto this rooftop here. That's right. And we'll go ahead and collect a gold brick. And just to make things easy, we're going to go ahead and double back just how we came over here. And hey, check it out. Because it takes a minute or 2 to get back to where we're going, Thumbie has a quick helpful tip for us to go ahead and use those quick links down below in the video description. Now, if you're new to Happy Thumbs, we actually have all of our collectibles listed down below with time links. So all you have to do is click the link next to it, and it should take you to that spot in the video where you will find that collectible in need. Now, also, we have sped up this video ever so slightly. If it seems like we're running a little faster than you, it's not because we have a cheat on in the game. It's because we sped things up in our post-production suite, or our editor, for those of you who don't like the fancy words. But, all right, make your way back over to the mill, and just to the right of it, you're actually going to find 2 poles that have some ice on it. We're going to use Kai's Fire Tornado to go ahead and melt those down, and then just behind those rocks, or just behind those are some rocks, I should say. We'll go ahead and do a little heppa to the hoppa and jump all the way across and try to climb up toppa. And as luck would have it, we actually made it. I know I've been struggling really bad with those twirly poles in this particular Lego game. I'm not sure why, but once you get all the way up, you actually zip line down, and on your way down, you actually find yourself a gold brick. So we'll collect that, and actually hold your breath, because hopefully you'll stay on this handheld here and make your way up all the way to the top. If not, you're going to have to run back over there and climb up and zip line back down, which I guess isn't the end of the world, but it would definitely... it definitely wouldn't be the funnest thing to do. So, all right, up top on this newly found ledge, we're going to actually switch on over to Pythor, who has the weird digging ability. I guess I'm getting sort of used to it now. It's just so weird after how many Lego games we've had that you actually dig like with a shovel rather than actually going underground. That's pretty cool, though, I guess. Once you get to the end of our little journey there underground, you actually find some buildable bricks that we can use to build a handheld on the wall and get all the way up top to character token number 2. That's right, we've got General number 1 fired. So it looks like there's going to be an additional character version for all of the generals that got fired. I guess Lego Ninjago did not have enough characters to go ahead and give us the normal amount. Normally, we're pretty used to like 50+ characters at least. And in some of the, like Lego Marvel games, you see like 100+. So having to duplicate some characters and different variations, I guess, makes sense. So, all right, drop down below, and it's carefully, you gotta be careful on how you drop down here, as you might find yourself on the wrong side of the fence, and if that's the case, you're gonna have to go all the way over to those poles that we melted that ice off of, and that will give us the pathway to zip line all the way down and back across here. And all right, so once we drop down, we actually use some silver brick destructors. That's right, we're going to throw some explosions at that silver and make it go bye-bye. And inside we find some spiders and a gold brick. And I'm a little behind on my commentary, so hopefully I'll catch up here. Just to the left of the dojo, you can actually find some rocks to jump up on. Now, if you find yourself not able to get over to this side of the fence for whatever reason, you're having troubles with the zip line or whatever it may be, you could actually load using your map to the dojo, and it'll take you to this side as well. So, a little fun fact for you. Now, once you get up here, you're going to need a ghost character to go ahead and scare that crane and smack it up against the wall, which will open up that cage and give us our next gold brick. brick. All right, this one was kind of tricky as my guide had a little mistake. It actually told me to go up this wall behind me, run up both of the run walls, and then go left. Well, it turns out the item is to the right, but it is on the left once we take a right. So we'll go ahead and hop up all the way to the top. We got these fire poles we got to jump across. Watch out for that lava. And then we're going to drop right down off the right-hand side and then walk around hugging this wall. And eventually we'll follow this path all the way to the end where we see a target on the wall up on the high left side. Doesn't matter which character you use. In fact, we can use spin jitsu. You can use a bow and arrow. You can use all sorts of things. And in our case, we're just going to use spin jitsu because we had it out and ready. And it turns out, I believe there's 3 targets that you need to take down. Once that third one crumbles, it's actually going to make that wall disappear as well. And look at that. We've got ourselves another gold brick. This time we're going to double back and head all the way over to where that ghost moment was. So back down on the lower ground, but you got to be careful. There's lava flowing everywhere. In fact, I actually got a little too low, and luckily my other character was still up top, so I was able to get up there and use this ladder. Now, boy, I don't know why I've struggled miserably with this whole jump to climb stuff too. Ladders? I don't know if it's a depth perception thing for me. Maybe I need some new glasses or something. Or maybe I just need glasses since I don't currently wear any. But I don't know what it is. I've definitely struggled with the twirly poles and ladders in this game. So I'll chop it up to user error, but you never know. It might not be my fault at all. But hey, back down on the ground in the back right corner, we're actually going to find our next side quest, which happens to be the rocker. And let's see, he probably wants to rock out with his drums out, and we'll go ahead, and it looks like we gotta find his drums and some other items as well, and these are pretty cheeky as some of them are hiding behind the lava. So go ahead and listen to his plea, and then of course accept the quest, and then we'll make our way back up to that tower and over to the right hand side where we just were. But first, grab that little drum on the ground there and make your way up. Now, hopefully you guys don't have a problem with heat. As I already mentioned, it gets a little hot to trot. In fact, you can see the blue arrow pointing down inside that lava stream there. But as it turns out, there's actually a ledge you can go and drop down onto. In fact, you can see the stud down there now. And rather than hop all the way across on them poles, we're going to drop down. Now, it's really weird because these blue arrows, as I've complained about in the last couple of videos, it's kind of taken me for a spin. I dropped right down and there was no visual of that. If you go back and look, I swear it's not there, but you could see a stud. So I don't know what's going on. It was weird that that loaded off or backwards or behind or something. But regardless of what it is, go ahead and grab that and make your way to the next one, which is just down around the corner. And look at that. We switched back our characters, and then this guy's still on the other side of that lava flow, which saved us a little bit of time. So we'll head all the way back to this rocker here and go ahead and see what he has to offer. Look at that. He's gonna hook us up with a drum solo. Or is he? I don't know. Oh, he is! Woo to the who! Drum solo for me and you. Now check it out. This is another one of those moments I just felt we just had to go ahead and pull out the old disco ball. And we won't get our jungle boogie on as we have a drum solo going here. But we will go ahead and pull out the disco ball and dance our hearts, or dance the night away, I guess. But, yep, hey, if you're in a hurry, go ahead and use those quick links down below. We didn't want to waste too much time. We thought we'd have fun, maybe put a smile on your face, hopefully. Next up, we got a race. So if I didn't put a smile on your face, it's time to race. I don't know. But hey, before we do that, we're actually going to jump up onto this ledge over here, which has one of those bouncing stud cubes. So we're going to hopefully hit it big. Big bucks, no whammies. Oh, I'll take the gold. That's could be worse, right? It could be better, but could be worse. But all right. We're in the place to be and the race to see. So we'll go ahead and hop on and activate it. Looks like we've got 50 seconds to make it to the end. Now, I recommend using a character with some extra speed, like old Griffin Turner here, as he's going to bail you out of some of these slow moments where you're just kind of chugging along. Now, I actually do believe, yep, I missed that jump quite badly. And luckily for me, my character was right behind. And also, luckily for me, I had chose both characters to be Griffin Turner before I started. So I've got both characters in the fast lane, and look at that. Across the bridge we go, and then we got a couple of zip lines to flow down, and then a little, oh no, I lied. That's in the next race. My bad. Psych! Fooled you. All right, really, we just made it in under the time requirement there, and now that we're done, we're going to drop down below. And, yeah, we're going to make our way across the old lava ravine here. And this time we're actually going to go to the left instead of the right. Now, I will go ahead and mention that I had an issue with this. As I run up to this side quest here, you might notice that his little icon to start the quest is not there. We've mentioned this before. This has happened a couple of times to us, to Doug, to Tyler, and some of you other viewers that have mentioned it. Simply save and quit the game and reload the area, and it should be there. So that's what I did. It worked for me, and the old student green shirt is there. That's weird. Shouldn't it be the student in green shirt or in the green shirt instead of student green shirt? I guess maybe there's something I'm missing there, but all right, here we are again with some more of this blue arrowage taking me for a spin. As it turns out, this one isn't too bad as there is only one arrow, and those seem to be a little easier to follow than the multiple arrows. However, this one takes us back and up and around, and we got to find something pretty awesome. This is actually quite a long quest, so if you've already completed this and you're in a hurry to get to the next one, you might actually use the quick links to get you to the next one because... yeah, we've got a little bit of shtiff to do before. Next one's going to be gold brick number 9, too, if you want. But this one's actually kind of fun, too, because once you get to the top, you see Sam Squanch. That's right, old Sasquatch himself is up there. And Sam Squanch confirmed for all you trailer park boys. Watchers out there. God, my wording is off. I apologize for that today. It is early in the morning. I got everything all nice and ready for me last night, and thought it'd be easy peasy for me this morning. But I guess my brain is not fully awake yet or something. I need to eat some brekkie. That's right, some breakfast. All right, and for funsies, I thought it would be cool to see if we could melt Sam Squanch and see if he'd, maybe make a little rampage or something, but as it turns out, no such luck. So he gets to stay froze, like people be saying stay woke, like to be aware of things. He'd be staying froze. I don't know if that's cool or not. I don't think it'll take off, but hey, you never know. Stay froze. But, all right, so we're down and out. We're following the old blue arrow, which kind of took us for a little journey there, too. Good thing we knew where we was going. We were going for the student green shirt over here, and he's actually quite happy to have his camera back, but he lets us know that old Sam Squanch actually gave us a couple of selfies on there, too, and he seems to be a better photographer than he was, so... woo to the who. All right, just to the right of that quest, we're going to see this little pig pen, but inside of the pig pen, there's a goat. So I guess it's a goat pen. We'll go ahead and hop on him by walking up to him, pressing the icon indicated, and then we want to do a little jumping around. We've got these 4 little hurdles we got to jump around, and each time we get a little confetti and a little wee. And once you get all 4, look at that gold brick. We'll go ahead and hop inside there and collect that bad boy, and guess what? We got one more added to our collection. Next up, we're going to follow this guy up and over to the right-hand side. We got a tornado build at the top of the stairs here. This guy wants his watchtower to be built. Now, I don't know if this was another reference to kind of Game of Thrones. I've already made mention that this area does kind of remind me of like Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, and Shadow of War. Just kind of the way that all of the buildings are built, just the color scheme, the rocks. I mean, it just kind of has that Middle-earth feel to it. Now, we've also noticed that there was like a Game of Thrones reference, or Game of Bones, as it was the main throne, but all in bones. And so, anyways, instead of the Iron Throne, we call it the Iron Bone, which I guess could be a little questionable. But anyways, moving along, we got all the way to the top of this watchtower. And again, I felt like the watchtower was kind of homage to the wall in Game of Thrones. For those of you who don't watch Game of Thrones, just disregard all this. It doesn't matter. It's nonsensical stuff. And for those of you about to watch it, don't worry, I didn't spoil anything for you. But hey, we got 3 bees nests or hives, whichever you want to call it, up top here. We'll go ahead and bust open all 3 of those, collect a gold brick, and then drop down a tier, and inside this new area, or I guess outside this new area, we've got this little spot where we can use Cole's hammer to go ahead and hammer it down. And look at that, it drops some buoys, which straighten out a ladder for us. And that actually is just kind of handy in the event that you fall or you need to get back up here or whatever. We don't use that ladder ourselves for anything, but like I said, it's good to have it. It saves some time of getting up, and around. So once you get down to the bottom of that ladder, just to the right or left side, depending on if you're looking to or away from that ladder, but there is this little spot where you can use Nia and her water spear, and that's right, booyaka show, we've got ourselves the next character token. That's right, seemed like we were a little bit slow in those tokens, but we're starting to catch up on those now. And hey, look at that, Kai training again. I feel like there was not enough overall characters to fill up a big list or a character wheel like that, and in our case, we're seeing a lot of variations of characters we already have. We got training, we got classic, we got high school of all of our ninjas, plus the actual ninja versions. So I mean, that's kind of, I don't know, we've seen other franchises not get their own Lego game because there wasn't enough characters. We need to see that change. If they can duplicate characters here and give us variation, they can do that in other places too. So who knows? That might open up some doors to some new IPs or new franchises. But all right, we used Garmadon and his 4 arms to go ahead and lift up this weird, I don't know what it was. It was some sort of a blocker. Inside or behind the blocker, we found a grapple. We went ahead and pulled that plug, and look at that. Character token number 4 is now officially ours. So thank you very much. Next up, we've got a gold brick. Just beyond where we were, we're going to see another one of these water mill type situations. And in this case, we're actually going to use Nia to go ahead and use her water tornado yet again to fill this up. The weight of the water spins that wheel around and moves it so that it actually dumps some more water. And look at that. It fills up the little pathways and it knocks over this little, I don't know what it is, some sort of a trough, and that trough has a handle on it, which gives us access to another handle, which now that we grab it, it actually falls and drops a gold brick. So collect that bad boy and add it to our list, and next up we got another one. This one actually takes a little bit longer to get, though. So if you already have this next one, you might use a quick link to get by to the next collectible, which happens to be, what, character token number 5, 6, something like that? Yep, be number 5. And meanwhile, we're going to run up to the far right side and look at this. Here's our secret area. Now, each location seems to have its own gold brick requirement where you can actually open up a new area if you have enough. For us, we seem to have enough. It doesn't ever tell us if we have enough, how many we need. However, we opened it up, and if you're following along with us, you too should have plenty of gold bricks to open that up. Now, this gets a little squirrely, and I highly recommend using Zane or somebody with a quick projectile, something like a bow and arrow or a gun. I guess maybe even some dynamite might work, but as it turns out, you hop on this little trolley car down the train tracks, and you actually have to ride it all the way down to the base. Along the way, there are 3 targets you have to hit. So I got kind of swept away and realized I might have missed a target, so I immediately switched to my other character, which Garmadon was hanging out back there, and you could hear the mine, the bottom of the mine was actually finally reached by the cart as it crashed, and you could see the whole screen kind of shake. And we'll repeat that action here. Now, we actually did get a couple of those targets on the way down. So for us, we only need to get 1, I do believe. However, it's kind of a funny angle to get any of these, and it appears as though you need to be inside of the old mine cart. So we hop on it with Zane, who does have that bow and arrow for quick release action. And as soon as we get in there, it slowly starts. Actually, it doesn't start rolling until you hit the first target. I take that back. So hit the first one, start rolling, and then be ready. In the lower left, there's going to be that second target, and then the third target is straight ahead of you right after that one. And once you get all 3, booyah, show. So hopefully it doesn't take you a ton of trips. It took me 2. Hopefully it only takes you 1. Once we get all the way to the bottom, you can see the cart goes crashing, big bada boom, and we slide down into the room, and there's a handful of bad guys. So we'll go ahead and target those guys and take them out. The Infinite Skyward Dragon certainly helps get your multipliers up. And I know that we've been spending quite a bit of studdage on tornado builds, so getting a few extra studs here and there certainly won't help us, or certainly won't hurt us. It'll help us. It will help us. I don't even know what I'm saying. Sheesh. All right, once all the bad guys are gone, you're going to want to collect as many studs as you can as your multiplier is high. There's quite a few blues in the corners too, so definitely take that into consideration when you are fighting. And once you get all your studdage collected and you're ready to roll, go ahead and head up that ladder in the back left corner of the room. And up top, you're going to find a character token. That's right. It's actually for Neuro. And that's right. We'll collect. And then look at that. We've got a pathway out of here that's shown by some studs, a little trail on out the back door. Giggity. So we'll go ahead and follow that. And that's going to take us to our next tornado build. We're actually going to build a hot air balloon. That's right. I've been filled with hot air all morning, so hopefully this balloon will take it all out of me. No, I'm just kidding. You know how it goes. We're going to actually follow the stud trail down the ravine and out and around. There's actually a way to get out on the right-hand side, and once you fall in, you're kind of stuck, so good thing for us, that is where we needed to be. So we'll go ahead and follow it down and around, collecting all those studs along the way. I do get a little wild hair here, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm going a little slow, and I definitely recommend if you got some trudging around the area to do, you know, having a fast character certainly helps you get from point A to point B, since there isn't any real fast travel. Even the loading for the game, if you're trying to load to like the beginning, it takes forever. So highly recommend using a character with extra speed. That being said, we'll go ahead and use the wall. There's actually 2 wall runs to run up just behind or to the right of where we used Nia and her water spear earlier. Once we get up top here, there's a handful of studs over on the left, but really what we want to do is head to the right-hand side where we got a race and, of course, that tornado build where I promised that hot air balloon. So we'll go ahead and step right up to the old balloon pilot and spend another 100,000 studs. That's an expensive hot air balloon. I don't think they cost that much in real life. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. In fact, I've been wrong like 10 times in this video alone. So that's not anything I'm afraid to admit. I'm wrong. I'm human. I'm not perfect. I like to be perfect, but I'm not. Next up, we got a race. So make sure you got a speedy character selected, and we'll go ahead and activate the race. Now, I thought it was going to take us the other way, but nope. It turns out we go right down this little zip line, and check this out. We knock over a wall when we get down there. That wall actually gives us access to a whole new area, and it'll definitely help us out here in a minute. We'll go ahead and complete this race, though, and, oh, that's a quick jump there. Oh, around the corner we go. Like I said, we nailed this because we actually did okay with our control, and we also had the speedy character, so we shaved a bunch of time off. In fact, watch this. We're almost to the end here. We go sliding down here, we jump across, and yeah, there's a lot of button pressing that you need to do here too. Spamming X certainly would work, but look at that. I had 15 seconds left over thanks to my super speedy character here. Thank you very much, Evan. Oh, Evan Turner. He plays for the Blazers. Griffin Turners. Whoops. I knew that was going to happen before the series was over. But, all right, we're going to double back a little bit and head back towards gold brick number 13, which is actually going to be in that area where we knocked over that wall. Remember that when we ziplined down? Check this out. Inside there's a little spot Kai can use his double katanas. And once we do that, we're actually going to have to switch to another character and come in and collect that gold brick. And hey, if you have not already, feel free to click that subscribe button. That's right, that helps us out quite a bit. We're actually looking to get that 100,000 subscriber mark. We want that play button. That's right, and we'll do a huge video on it, and of course give lots of appreciation. Probably do a huge giveaway too once we hit that 100K. And hey, if you haven't checked us out already on Facebook, every week we do giveaways, so definitely check that out if you're into getting free things. I don't know who doesn't like free stuff, but anyhow, all right, we use Kai to go ahead and rip that down, and check it out. We've got that gold brick. We only have one more actual gold brick we need to collect. A couple more will come with side quests and things like that, but yeah, actually we got a race, this quest, 1 gold brick, and 2 character tokens, and we're all done with this area, so woohoo! All right, round the corner we go, and check it out. There's a IT nerd hanging out in this back corner. But hey, you know me, I saw a bluesy. Got to get them all. Got to get them all. So we'll go ahead and grab them all real quick. In fact, I think I missed one in that back corner right there. Yep, I did. Bummer deal. But we'll go ahead and step up to the plate here. And what does this guy want? Let's see here. Trying to find Lord Garmadon, but ended up running into all his fire generals. Oh, that's right. He's trying to get the heck out of here, and we need to give Neil escort. And this escort requires an extra amount of cha-cha, so we'll go ahead and deploy that right now. It turns out the first group has 4 bad guys, 4 fired generals that we need to take out, and of course the old red brick or ancient scroll for infinite skyward dragon certainly comes into play as we can go ahead and get our cha-cha-cha-cha on up in the air. Look at our multiplier. It's already up to a times 18. Gosh, it went up 2 just from when I started to say it to when I finished. But look at that. So pretty sweet. If you have not already got that 100x combo, this is also a great time to do it. Anytime you have the infinite skyward dragon red brick or ancient scroll on, that's going to be a good time. I was able to do it without it, but I guess that's because I'm so skilled. No, I'm just kidding. It clearly was luck and timing for me. But all right, group number 2, another 4 bad guys. I actually slow down on the skyward dragon here in a minute because it just seems like it takes so long, and I guess you can take these guys out a little bit quicker with just some up close and personal cha-chas, and you can see me doing that there. 1 down, 1 to go. Booyakasha! Well, I go a little north again for this one. That's all right though. I was trying to collect some studs. You can't blame me. Without there being like a giant multiplier, you know, multiple red bricks to turn on for a 3840. Isn't that what it is? Something like that. 3846. Anyways, whatever it is, it's a lot. We don't have that now, and we definitely need studdage. In fact, we're quite a bit of studs short of our next leveling up, although overall we're stacking up them studs in the background. You can see that big meter up top going cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-ching. And, all right, we got one last stop, or do we? No, I think that was it. He's made it to the old escape route here, and he is confident that he can make it by himself now. So he gives us a pat on the back, which is also known as a gold brick, and we'll take that and be on our way. In fact, we have to run through the ravine, and we have to head back to that chicken coop. Remember that chicken coop we busted open those hen houses earlier? We got to do that again right now. And in order to get there, I'm going to speed things up a little bit by switching to Griffin Turner. That's right. Now, keep in mind, I do not think he's the only fast character, but he certainly comes in handy if you don't have any other one. So, and we got him for completing the dojos as well. So if you have not done that yet, you're missing out on a lot of characters and abilities and fun stuff. So I try to cheat the system, and it doesn't work out for me. I was trying to jump up on the high right there. No such luck. Luckily for me, though, at the end of the ravine, there is some of these hippo to the hoppa pulls. I can get all the way up top. And, oh, look at that. We also found ourselves a couple of bluesies. And, all right, we're almost to that chicken coop. Here we go. And just to the left of that, remember we skipped these walls earlier to go to that rope that was hanging back in that corner. Well, that's because there's a couple of items up here. And I don't know why, but that little spot right there as we ran up to it reminded me of Jurassic World. The big wall, the entry wall to the park. I know the doors weren't there, but it certainly seemed like it. All the other elements seemed like... And I've been noticing a lot of recycled assets from the games. Like, you see Lego World stuff. We've certainly seen different abilities and things from Lego Dimensions. So it's kind of cool being able to see all those things continue on and not just be developed for an individual game or moment. Now, there is a long slide here. This kind of reminds me of the old state fair where you get on that super long slide. And we'll take that in just a minute as there are tons of studs that we're going to collect on the way out of here. But first, we got to actually make our way down into this little pit here. Now, I jumped up and out of it, but the pit is where it's at. We actually have, what, 5 or 6 spiders, I believe? Yeah, we got 6 spiders we need to take out. And once we get all of them dealt with, we actually get our final gold brick that's actually a gold brick. Now, we do collect a gold brick for completing the race, which you probably noticed was at the top of that wall there. But, yeah, that's actually the last physical gold brick that we have to go after. And so there we go. We got that one. And I know, you probably noticed, too, there's a crack in the wall in the back right side. And I didn't notice any notations in my guide revolving around this. However, it turns out that I just could not resist not taking this wall out. And as you might guess what? Bouncing stud cube. Let's see if I can, no. That was not good there. I've done much better. The silver, you know, every stud counts, but I would much rather have at least a gold. All right, switch to a fast character, activate this race, and make it happen. Now, this one requires 50 seconds to get that gold, and there's a little bit of stuff you can't really avoid. Like, you can't speed up the sliding down here. Unfortunately, it's just kind of a timed event, and you slide from one slide right into another. But once you get to the bottom, guess what? Bouncing stud cube, get it on your way by. I improved a little bit there. We do have to drop all the way down to the ground and then all the way around. Up we go again. And eventually we get to the top of this area here. And guess what? Keep in mind, too, that little shock panel down below is going to come in handy in just a second. But first, we got a double zip line down. That's right. I say double zip line. Really, I meant zip line down through the double rings. And there's our final gold brick for the area. Now all we have left is 2 character tokens. And there happens to be one on this far ledge over here. And I tried to be sneaky and switch to Kai because I knew he was active. But as it turns out, yeah, Kai was a long ways away. And it tried to take me away. So I manually select Kai with my character closest to the melting zone here. And I go ahead and melt that iceberg down and sneak inside to grab number 6, which happens to be Maya. All right, so... Hey, Maya. I don't know. Was that bad? I don't know. I wasn't trying to disrespect anybody or anything, but it sounded cool. It sounded fun. All right, that being said, drop back down to the ground. We actually have to run around to where that shock panel was, up the wall run there. So go back up a couple of those walls. We got 1, 2, and then off to the right, I do believe. So, yep. Up the second one, off to the right, you can see there is that J panel there. But we actually have to destroy that kind of maroon or brown pile of cogs on the right there. So we'll go ahead and, as it turns out, I try to fire it up and no such luck. But look, we got some bouncing bricks. We can go ahead and complete our power source here. We'll go ahead and give it one more shock, and guess what? We get the character token for Ray! And that's actually going to seriously complete the level for us. I'm not even kidding. Like, for realsies, it's Dunsky. So, O to the L, we'll go ahead and look at that. I think it's cool they pull out a drone for us. And we'll go ahead and use that grapple plug to get across, and booyakashow! As promised, there is the character token for Ray. So we'll shake out all his parts. And look at that. It's not how I expected Ray to look. I thought Ray was going to look a little different. I can't explain how I thought he was going to look, but he doesn't look like I thought. All right, guess what, boys and girls? That's actually it for location number 6, the Lost City of Generals. We got 7-7, 24-24, and of course that ancient scroll as well. One last peek at the overall Ninjago Island map. The Lost City of Generals complete. And as I mentioned, that's going to wrap it up for LEGO Ninjago Movie Video Game, The Lost City of Generals Free Play and Free Roam, where we got all those collectibles. If you haven't already, check out the Thumbie must-see. We got social media galore down below in our video description, along with those quick links. Highly recommend you check them out. As for me, that's going to do it. I got a couple more levels to do. As always, until next time.